What's up, Raider Nation? It's Week 14, and the Silver and Black head to Tampa for a matchup with the Bucs. Last week against the Chiefs, Max Crosby played every defensive snap for the sixth straight game. That extends his streak to 387 consecutive snaps, the longest since Next Gen Stats started tracking. He is now responsible for 3 of the 4 longest defensive snap streaks since 2016. Crosby's 14 run stuffs are 2 more than any other edge rusher in the league, and he's created the 8th most pressures this season with 46, all the while being double-teamed 41 times, which is 8 more than the next closest edge defender. I bring up the double teams because they help create even more opportunities for his teammates, and K'Lavon Chaisson stepped up with a career-high 8 pressures, 3 of which coming under 2.5 seconds, along with 1.5 sacks on just 19 pass rushes last week, which equates to a whopping 42.1% pressure rate on Patrick Mahomes. On offense, Aiden O'Connell had a career-high 340 yards with 2 TDs last week. 270 of those yards and both of those touchdowns came off of passes outside the numbers. This was good for the most yards outside the numbers for any quarterback in a single game since Joe Burrow had 361 in 2021. O'Connell also connected for 163 yards on deep passes, which Next Gen Stats defines as ones traveling at least 20 air yards. Brock Bowers was at it again, hauling in 2 of his 10 receptions on those deep passes for 62 of his 140 total yards. By the way, this was only the second time all season that any tight end has caught 2 deep passes in a single game. Bowers now leads all tight ends in receptions, yards, and touchdowns this season on deep passes. In fact, he's the only tight end to have earned more than 85 yards on such passes. Scouting Tampa Bay's defense from last week's overtime win over the Panthers shows that they were very generous to Bryce Young when playing zone defense. Young was 23 of 32 for a season-high 242 yards against the Bucs zone, versus just 3 of 14 for 56 yards against man. Young used passes of under 10 air yards to drive much of his success, going 21 of 25 for 185 yards on them. This week, I am looking for the offense to use the blueprint laid out for them by the Panthers and exploit the Bucs' zone defense through the air. While shorter passes work for Carolina, it makes more sense to mix it up with short and downfield looks to take advantage of the mismatches that work in favor of Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers. The Bucs O-line has allowed a sub-25% pressure rate on Baker Mayfield, who's been sacked 28 times, which is tied for 14th most. However, look for pressure coming from all over the front, with Crosby commanding a lot of attention. Oh, and watch for 98's impact in the run-stopping game as well. Raider Nation, what are you tracking and what do you predict will happen? I want to hear your analysis in the comments below.